After surviving under the mountain, Feyre returns to the spring court carrying nightmares nobody understands. She barely eats, barely sleeps, and feels herself falling apart piece by piece inside. Tamlin tries to protect her with comfort and beautiful things, but he never truly sees how badly she is suffering. On her wedding day, Feyre feels trapped instead of happy. The dress feels suffocating, and every step toward Tamlin feels like losing herself completely. Just as panic overwhelms her, Rhysand appears, the first person to notice she is terrified. Feyre expects manipulation and cruelty from Rhysand because of who he pretended to be under the mountain. Instead, he gives her food, rest, and silence when she needs it most. Slowly, she begins realizing kindness does not always come with control. Back in the spring court, Feyre feels more trapped every day. Guards follow her constantly while Tamlin refuses to let her help or make choices for herself. The more he tries to protect her, the more his love starts feeling like a prison. The girl who once loved painting slowly disappears. Feyre feels numb, exhausted, and emotionally empty no matter how beautiful the world around her looks. Worst of all, nobody notices how badly she is fading away. When Tamlin traps Feyre inside the manor with magic, panic completely consumes her. She screams, cries, and claws at invisible walls while realizing this will be her future forever if she stays. In that moment, something inside her finally breaks. Just as Feyre is collapsing emotionally, Mor arrives and offers her a choice instead of control. She reaches out her hand and simply says, "Come." Feyre leaves because deep down she knows staying in the spring court will destroy her completely. Velaris shocks Feyre because it is full of music, laughter, art, and peace. For the first time in months, she sees a world untouched by fear and cruelty. Standing beneath the stars of Velaris, she feels hope slowly returning to her heart. Cassian teases her endlessly, Mor welcomes her warmly, and Azriel quietly protects everyone around him. Together, the inner circle becomes the family Feyre never truly had. Around them, she finally begins feeling like she belongs somewhere. Feyre admits she cannot properly read and expects embarrassment or judgment. Instead, Rhysand teaches her patiently, filling their lessons with jokes and gentle encouragement. Through him, she begins learning that love should never make someone feel ashamed of their weaknesses. Cassian trains Feyre physically while Rhysand teaches her to control her powers and shield her mind. The training is painful and exhausting, but it reminds Feyre she is no longer helpless. Slowly, the broken girl who survived Amarantha begins becoming powerful. One night Rhysand finds Feyre crying after another nightmare. Instead of telling her to move on or hide her emotions, he simply stays beside her quietly. Feyre realizes nobody has ever cared for her pain this gently before. Healing comes slowly through painting, friendship, and peaceful moments in Velaris. Feyre starts smiling and laughing naturally again without forcing it. The darkness inside her still exists, but now light exists beside it too. In the hewn city, Rhysand wears the mask of a cruel High Lord because fear keeps his people safe. Even there, he treats Feyre like an equal instead of something fragile to control. She realizes he gives her power rather than taking it away. Rhysand sends Feyre alone into the terrifying weaver's cottage to retrieve an object. Though furious and terrified, she survives through her own courage and intelligence. Afterwards, Rhys tells her he needed her to see how strong she truly is. When the adder attacks again, Feyre is forced to face one of her deepest fears. This time, instead of freezing helplessly, she fights back with all her power. Destroying the creature becomes the moment she realizes she is no longer prey. During starfall, glowing spirits drift across the night sky like falling stars. Standing beside Rhys beneath the beautiful lights, Feyre realizes she has fallen deeply in love with him. He looks at her like she is precious instead of broken. At the mountain cabin, Rhys finally reveals the pain he endured under Amarantha for 50 years. Feyre sees the loneliness and suffering hidden behind his teasing smiles. Understanding his wounds only makes her love him more deeply. The truth finally crashes into Feyre. Rhysand is her mate. But by then, her heart had already chosen him long before she knew about the bond. He became the person who helped her heal instead of trapping her pain inside a cage. Rhysand admits he knew about the mating bond earlier but never forced it on her. He wanted Feyre to choose him freely, even if it meant losing her forever. That choice proves to Feyre what real love truly looks like. Feyre finally stops hiding her feelings and chooses Rhysand completely. Loving him feels safe, peaceful, and real in a way she has never experienced before. For the first time since Under the Mountain, she allows herself true happiness. In Hybern, Feyre watches Nesta and Elaine dragged screaming toward the cauldron while Tamlin stands beside the enemy king. She fights desperately to save them but fails. The moment destroys the fragile happiness she had finally found. Nesta emerges from the cauldron burning with cold fury and hatred. Elaine comes out quiet, fragile, and emotionally shattered. Feyre realizes her sisters will never truly be the same again. As everyone stands in shock, Lucien looks at Elaine and whispers, "You're my mate." The words change everything instantly. Even destiny cannot erase the horror and pain of what Elaine just endured. Before everyone gathered in Hybern, Rhysand declares Feyre High Lady of the Night Court. Not his possession, not merely his wife, his equal in every way. In that moment, Feyre fully understands the difference between being loved and being controlled. At the end, Feyre returns to the Spring Court willingly, pretending loyalty to Tamlin. But she is no longer the frightened girl who once begged for escape. Now she walks back carrying rage, intelligence, strength, and a dangerous plan.